UWC Daily News Report. On today's breaking news alert, a young man has been hospitalized due to a rare infection known as balantidiosis. On site, we have our hands-on reporter, Molly. Are you there? She has more information with regards to the infection. Over to you, Molly.
Thanks, Ima. Of course I'm here. This is where it is hot and happening. I mean, where else would I be? Hang on, did you hear that? Give me my stuff. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come, let's go, let's go. We're gonna miss out. Come. Are you getting this? Are you getting this? Oh. Got my gloves on for protection. You don't know how infectious and deadly this disease is. I'm ready for action. So this is where the explosion came from. Hello, sir. How are you feeling? I can tell by the smell through this mask that it's not going too well. Tell me, do you know what infection you have contracted? Come on, give me something. Are you gonna die? Is it, how infectious is it? Give me something to work with. We need information. We need information.
No, out. Reporters are strictly prohibited from being in the hotel. Please leave immediately. You are violating the patient's... No, you are violating the patient's privacy and the hospital's policy. Please leave. Leave. Thank you.
Just trying to do my job. I mean, where else are we gonna get information? Can someone provide me with some material, please?
Oh, unfortunately, Molly couldn't get through to speak to the patient. But at the moment with me in studio is Dr. King from the UWC Medical Center. Good day, Dr. King, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Can you please tell us what exactly is balantidiosis?
Well, balantidiosis is an extremely unrare and uncommon disease for humans, but as we can see here today, it's very clear that it can, however, happen to humans. Balantidiosis is caused by an organism called Balantidium coli, and it is the only ciliated protozoan to parasitize humans.
Okay.
So basically, in the infected form, there's a cyst which will be ingested by the patient or the human. Excitation occurs in the small intestine, and the trophozoites that are released soon colonize the large intestine. The pathogenesis of the organism is largely attributed to the organism's ability to produce proteolytic enzymes which break down and digest the epithelium, the intestinal epithelium. Soon after that, colon ulceration occurs, which allows for infiltration of the leukocytes and lymphocytes. At this stage, hemorrhaging and secondary infections are very common, and after that, proliferation of the large intestine and appendix occur.
Oh, that sounds very hectic and technical. So, with that said, how does one contract the disease exactly?
So with Balantidium coli, its natural habitat is the intestinal tracts of arthropods and vertebrae, and some mammals, including mammals like pigs. The mode of transmission is the fecal-oral route, which means basically the infective cyst is passed through in the stools, in the feces, which causes then contamination to food and water. So I think that it's likely with this patient that he contracted the infection via swimming, via contaminated water, or he could have eaten uncooked pork that contained the infected cysts.
Okay, that is very insightful. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. King. You heard it first on UWC Daily Report. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm getting news from our reporter on site that she has made contact with a family member of the infected patient. Over to you, Molly.
Okay, Ima, thank you. I'm actually here at the clinic now with the patient's brother. Hi, are you the brother of the patient?
Yes, I am.
Can we please just maybe have a few words with you? How do you think your brother contracted this infection?
Apparently, the infection is acquired by swimming in and then ingesting contaminated water. But my brother can't even swim, so he stays clear from water. But I think it must be something like that.
That's tragic. Your brother can't swim? Okay. So tell us, how did you know that your brother wasn't feeling well? What were the signs or anything?
Well, I've been worried about my brother. He's an alcoholic and he's been suffering from tuberculosis and hypertension. So, yeah, he's generally not been well, but then he really doesn't take the best care of himself at all. But yeah, after he was experiencing the loose stools, the abdominal pain, and I thought I had to rush him straight to the hospital because it's been going on for a week.
Well, there you have it. Oh, they're serving chips. Okay, thank you so much. We'll see you.
Well, welcome back. Thank you so much, Molly, for all of that information. Up next, we have the diagnostic procedure, which will be explained to you guys in detail by two microbiologists from the UWC MBS department. This is what they have to say.
Hi there, welcome to the UWC Parasitology Lab. I'm Jamie and I'm going to be walking you through how we did the diagnostic procedure for balantidiosis. So we obtained 3 specimens from the patient. Those were freshly collected specimens and they were at 2 to 3 day intervals. So we observed the consistency and it was loose or watery, as well as the composition, and we observed blood and mucus. Only one of them contained blood and mucus and that had to be examined first, mostly because there would be trophozoites within them and they'd have to be examined immediately because the trophozoites, they could die soon after being passed out. Thereafter we did the microscopic examination of the stool. So basically, because it was a loose stool sample, we suspected trophozoites, we did the routine wet mount examination and we heated the saline wet mount at 37 degrees Celsius, and in that wet mount we could observe cysts as well as trophozoites and even red blood cells and white blood cells. And depending on what you see, for example, we saw trophozoites, we then followed it up with a buffered methylene blue wet mount, and in that wet mount you'll be able to see the trophozoites, however you won't be able to view the cyst. And because although it's very unlikely to see the cyst in a loose stool sample, but in this case we did, so we then followed it up with an iodine wet mount, and basically you'll be able to see the cyst in there, however you won't be able to see the trophozoites because they are cured.
I'm going to be discussing the unique morphological characteristics associated with Balantidium coli. Trophozoites as well as cysts were found in the stool sample. This is rare because usually the cysts are only found in a semi-solid stool sample.
Okay, so the first image displays a wet mount examination of the trophozoites, which is the metabolically active form of the organism. The second image displays the trophozoites stained with a trichome stain. In this image, one can observe the cilia surrounding the organism. This characteristic enables the motility of the protozoan. It is also helpful in our diagnostic procedure, as cilia is also a feature that allows the differentiation of Balantidium coli from another common parasitic protozoan known as Entamoeba histolytica. An interamoeba histolytica infection presents with similar clinical intestinal manifestations, however it has pseudopodia as opposed to cilia. The third image highlights the unique internal structures of the organism, whereby it contains a micronucleus and a macronucleus in both its trophozoite form as well as its cyst form.
After confirmation of the species as Balantidium coli, the treating team was immediately informed, whereby they chose the treatment metronidazole to administer to the patient. This was based on many reasons, one of the factors being that the patient was actually immunocompromised as a result of his anti-tuberculosis medication. And
apologies, it seems like that had to be cut short because Molly is on site and she has found the patient again.
This seems to be where the patient is.
Well, it seems like that is the only information Molly could get to us. But according to our other sources from the UWC MPS department, they have provided us with some preventative measures for balantidiasis. And these include improving hygiene and sanitation, since the transmission is based on the ingestion of contaminated food and water. Other preventative measures is proper handling of food, purifying the water sources that is used for anything, avoiding swimming in contaminated areas or areas which you think might be contaminated, avoiding exposure and contact with pigs, cooking your food properly, and also pigs should avoid areas where crops are planted. The socio-economic impact of balantidiasis are as follows. The infection itself has a worldwide distribution, but it seems like it is more prevalent in developing or underdeveloped areas where there's a low economic status for most people. It also arises mostly in areas where there is unfiltered water, where the main water source is the area of contamination, where people use water for washing, for eating, people bath there, so the cysts are always thriving in the water, and therefore it is an ongoing cycle, and people do not seek treatment because of their income status or income, they can't get proper medical attention for that infection. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on UWC Daily News Report. Please make sure that you follow the preventative measures and avoid contact with any contaminated sources. That is all for today. Thank you.